Hello everybody, welcome to part 3 of this tutorial video thing, whatever it is. I don't do digital color a lot, but when I do, the first thing I do is I cheat terribly, and I open up my 300 dpi scan in Adobe Illustrator, and then I do an image trace, and what this does is actually converts it converts the rasterized image, which is the initial scan, into digital, which basically smooths out the lines and makes it a lot more crisp. So it looks less like a traditional scan. And once I do that, you have to export it. I mean, I could color it in Illustrator, but I'm not as good in Illustrator. And I kind of want to focus on a more Photoshop-like program since it's easier to get Photoshop-type programs. So this is just kind of a little cheat thing I do. You don't have to do this. It's just something I do. So call this Marco image traced. Okay. All right. And we want maximum high quality. Let's see. Do grayscale, which is basically black and white. We want definitely 300 ppi. Alright. So there we go. And that's all done. Now we can open up Photoshop. Open, let's see, it's gonna be right there. Alright, so other than that, this is pretty much what you would do with like a regular scanned image. Just bring it into Photoshop. And then I do a line cleanup to try and get it as a, oh yeah, that's right, image. I shouldn't have put it in grayscale. So to fix that, I go to image mode, and RGB is fine. Cancel. Okay. So I shouldn't have done grayscale. Oops. No big deal though, I can fix that. Image mode and RGB. Okay. There we go. So it should be in that mode now. Okay, there we go. Now, the first step to do is clean up the line art. So here's kind of how I do that. There's a few different things I do. First one, double click the layer. And the reason, you might have noticed I just filled in an empty layer with this green. It's to make sure that I'm getting the transparency I'm going for. I should probably actually shut that off too. Oh yeah, can't. Alright, shut that off. Double click layer. And take this part right here that says this layer and just drag it slowly. Yep, there we go. And you'll notice, probably, I believe, that you can see the white disappearing. There's a little bit along the edges. Alright, I don't want to go too far with that, but that'll work. So if you zoom in, there's not much white left, but there's still a little bit. So image adjustments, threshold, 2. Let's see, 3. Okay. That's looking pretty clean there. Not sure there's anything else I have to do actually at this point. You can also do adjustments, levels, and I believe this should work perfectly. Just do a little test with this random, actually, BX, okay. Just a quick test. Okay, yeah, that looks fine. It's coloring underneath and there's not a lot of white. Perfect. Okay. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Marco Diaz. So I'm pulling up the reference image. Come on, computer. Save image as desktop, sure, whatever. File, open, desktop, images. You can see all my silly stuff. Okay. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna color drop, and usually what I do is I make a palette. Let's see. So something like this. I also use a lot of keyboard shortcuts. I learned this, I interned at an animation studio for a while. It wasn't like a really big studio or anything, just a little tiny one. But I learned a lot there regardless. And one of the things I did was one of the people there told me that if you're not using the keyboard shortcuts, then you know, your left, basically it was along the lines of your left hand should never be lazy. And so I've just gotten so used to keyboard shortcuts that it helps me move along a lot faster. Pants. Not very good at talking, but I try, because I like talking about art and sharing art stuff a lot, so I hope you'll forgive my weird social awkwardness. So this is kind of how I just build the palette. I'm using the keyboard shortcut, let's see, M. M is the tool, the selection tool. Then I hit G, and then I just fill it in. So I just keep doing that M, G over and over again. Let's see, bloop. There we go. M. Actually, I'm gonna put this closer to that so I remember that it's his hoodie. I don't know if it's any different than the shoe white, and yeah, it is a little different. Okay. Let's see. Let's zoom a little. Wow, this is a high quality image here. Let's see. Alright. These are for the eyes, so I'll put that next to skin tone. I'm kind of smaller, so I kind of remember. I'm usually pretty good at remembering. Let's see. Wow, this is a very low quality image. Alright then, that looks pretty good. I think I have all the colors. So, from here, Control D is deselect, so now we're all deselected. Control, I guess that's the dash or the underscore, is zoom in, zoom out. Well, zoom out. Zoom in is the plus sign, Control plus, Control minus. I use those all the time. Definitely recommend using keyboard shortcuts a lot if you're gonna do digital stuff. It's just a lot easier. Oh, is it? What is this? I don't even know what that is. Oh, that's because I did a layer style on it. Alright. I know what I'm doing. Anyway. Let's see. Duplicate layer. I like to do it this way so that way I don't mess up. If I mess up, I can just fix it easily. So this is palette. I can spell. Cool. Alright. And we'll call this, call this line art, and this is going to be called color. And this is where the fun really begins, because this is the really easy stuff. Oh, I don't know what I hit there. Control Z is undo. Click, click. Now you might notice that there's a little bit of that white edging going on. Wonder if this helps. That's odd. I'll have to figure out what's going on with that. Okay. Well, that seemed to work. No, it's still doing that, so the wand isn't necessarily... Okay. Let's see. Pants. This is just... It looks terrible right now, I know, but just part of the process. G is the paint bucket tool, so use that to move it along a little quicker. Let's see, there's that gray undershirt. Not sure why that's not appearing. Wonder if it has something to do with this. No. Never had this happen before. That's interesting. The lines are all closed off. Why not? Oh, that actually looks better. I guess I'll keep that off. Figure out what is going on here. Because I've actually... Okay, it seems to be... Let's see if I do select inverse or something like that. Maybe it'll work. It seems to be selecting the line art for some reason. Not sure why it's not filling. Usually, I've actually never had this happen to me before, so guess we'll figure that out together too. Alright. Huh. What's going on? That's weird. It seems to be only pertaining to the skin color, which is weird. It's a little bit of an odd issue. This is why I don't like doing digital stuff. You always run into weird stuff. I mean, you do get this kind of cool look, but, I mean, it's always something. Always something. Alright, let's see. G. And now the white's not filling. Now that is particularly concerning. I guess we'll do this the manual way. Maybe. Let's see. Brush. I should probably turn on that green layer again. Boop, there we go. Alright, actually, you know, I'm not going to do brush because, yeah, I have the tablet out, but you notice I'm not really actually touching it. It's because you don't really actually need it for this type of work. So I'm going to use the pen tool. Here's a useful thing about the pen tool. If you hold Alt, you can select this point here and actually move it. And if someone had told me that about, I don't know, circa 2008, I would probably be further along in my artistic career, because it took several years before someone finally was like, oh yeah, you know, you can just click Alt and move the point and then change the curve. And I'm like, oh, thanks. The person who told me was actually my good friend Scott, and I am like, nobody told me for years, and I'm like, oh my god, why didn't anyone tell me? So anyways, I'm connecting it like that because it's going to be underneath this brown color layer. Then a right click, make selection, feather radius 0, which means it'll fall exactly on the points that I like. So this line will be exactly what the selection is. You can also feather it out, so if like I wanted it to go a little bit out more, but I don't want that obviously. And I'll fill that, and there we go. There's the shoe. And we're going to do that same thing with the pen tool. So I don't know why it wasn't filling for those parts, but I mean, here it's here's a little pen tool mention. Shout out to the pen tool, most wonderful thing in digital. Pen tool is also a great way if you just want to do straight up digital line art, but you want it to look smooth. Pen tool, and then what you do is right click, and instead of make selection, you would do stroke path, and you can choose it. Well, here I'll show you what it looks like. You can choose what tool it is. It could be the brush. You could simulate pressure, and then you go OK, and then it'll make that path out of it'll make that path whatever color you want, and just it'll be a nice smooth digital line. Okay, but we don't want to do that, so we're gonna make selection, do that, G, fill it, Control D. There you go, all filled, super quick. Okay. You know, actually, I just thought of something that might help me cheat a little bit more too. Wand tool, and let's see. This is the. I'm mixing up my layers now. Okay. Colors. Sorry, my neighbors are apparently doing some weird ass yard work right now. Of course they are. Doop doo. And sorry I swore. I try not to. But, whoops. I'm not redoing the whole video. Okay, so. Let's see if this works. So I selected it here, but I went down to this layer, and now I'm going to fill it down here. Yeah, it worked. Awesome. That saves me a lot of time. I don't have to use the pen selection tool. Alright, wand, down here, G, fill. Ah, there you go. W is the magic wand tool, so I hit W, I hit his ear, I go down to the layer, I hit G, fill it with the fill bucket. Control D is deselect. Let's see, do his eyes here, wand tool. Well, actually, let's see if his eyes fill. Oh dear, I forgot to change layers. Whoopsie. Okay, nope, it won't work on that layer either. For white, just white and the skin tone aren't working. Oh well. Wand tool. Kind of glad because now you get like an extra like how to work around problems thingy. All right, and then we'll do G, and we'll go down and click. And that's going to be a bit of a problem. His eyes disconnected, but alright, guess what? We're going to use the brush tool. Alright, B is the shortcut key for brush tool. And I was using an airbrush for another project. It's like, what the heck? Don't want a nice soft. Alright, and I am on the colors layer because that's the layer I want to be on so that I don't accidentally paint over the line art with this. Alright, there we go. And there we go. That looks pretty good. Alright. And back to the color layer. Magic wand, W, click it, G, color layer, fill it, Control D. And are his eyelids a different color? Yeah, they're kind of a different color. So I is the ink drop. M, G, fill. There you go. And I don't have to reselect it, do I? So wand, tool. Actually, let's just see if this one works regular. There we go. Finally, something worked normal. And, oh, darker eyebrows, huh? Yep. So bad with color, guys. But, I mean, obviously I can at least do it. Control D. And, let's see. Hopefully this works. Alright. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's looking good. I, G, fill. Oh yeah, that's right. His shirt was one of the ones that wasn't. So magic wand, color layer, lighter gray, and fill it on the color layer, and magic wand on the line art layer. Click, fill, boop. Oh, that didn't. Uh-oh. Zoom in, see what's happening here. What is happening? Okay. Well, alright. Oh, that's why, because I forgot to switch layers. Yep. Boop. There we go. Perfect. Problem solved. Control minus, zoom out. Control plus, zoom in. Control minus. Honestly, the shortcut keys are like half the skill stuff here. Alright. Click. Let's see. I had 21 minutes. Wow. Okay, I'm so glad I'm almost done then. Alrighty. Click. Fill. Sorry, it's kind of redundant. Alright. Alrighty then. There we go. Full color. Control zoom out. Not sure. I think that's just because it's a high-res image, but it looks like... No, not really, but let's see. Looks like there's a little bit of white feathering, so I'm gonna do a little bit with the brush tool here. Oh, not that with the brush tool. Okay, cool. Oh, and actually, while I'm here, if you want to change the color of your line art, select it, and it'll fill your line art with color. So you can do whatever you want. Though I don't think that's the right brown. So we're gonna go back to magic wand. We're gonna go pushing. Yeah, because it's the same as his hair. G, fill. Control D, Control 0. And there we go. And that's basically it. I mean, from here, you can, I mean, heck, you can move them wherever you want. So to select 2 layers at once, just select the layer and then hold shift, and that will select both. And that also works for just regular files on computer. And then you can take this move tool. You can move him wherever you want to go. Look at that. Woo! Okay, alright. Now I'm just having too much fun. Looks like I accidentally put the palettes there. I can fix that quick too. Oh, I don't think it doesn't let you edit 2 layers at once. Right, I forgot. You can move 2 layers at once, but you can't edit them at the same time. Go figure. So I can delete palette layer, and I mean, from here you can put any background you want, do whatever you want. That's basically it. And I'm gonna end the tutorial here, but I'll probably do some sort of I'm gonna change it from this lime green. I just use lime green because it's really good to check for any problems with the white line art problem. But okay, I don't want to drag this on anymore. So I hope this is helpful. Have a good evening, day, morning, life.